let's talk about reinventing yourself. And I don't mean just making a few small tweaks here and there. I mean a total, down to the studs transformation. And what if you could do it in just 1 month? Well, today, we're laying out the exact blueprint to make that happen. No, seriously, just think about that for a second. What if 1 month from today, you could look in the mirror and see someone completely different? Someone with new habits, a totally new mindset, and a level of confidence you honestly haven't felt in years. Someone almost unrecognizable. And look, let's get one thing straight. This isn't about some vague, feel-good motivation or just hoping things get better. This is a system, a concrete, step-by-step, actionable plan that, frankly, most people won't use because it requires real work. But before we can build anything new, we have to get brutally honest about the old. We have to face a hard truth about that person we see in the mirror every single day. Wow, this quote just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's usually not our jobs, our houses, or our circumstances that we hate. It's the version of ourselves that keeps showing up to them. The same old routines, the same lame excuses, the same person just stuck on repeat. And that's exactly why you can't just add new habits on top of a broken foundation. It doesn't work. Real reinvention isn't some cute little glow up. It's a teardown. It starts by taking that old script you've been reading from for years and setting it on fire. So this is where the system really kicks in. For the first 7 days, your one and only job is destruction. It's all about systematically dismantling the old you. We start with something called the identity funeral. Sounds intense, right? But it's a simple 3-step process. First, you get brutally honest with yourself. Write down every single habit and excuse that is wrecking your life. Second, and this is the hardest part, you have to stop defending that person. No more, oh, that's just how I am. And third, you take one small action every single day that goes directly against that old identity. If the old you is lazy, you go for a 5-minute walk. If the old you avoids hard conversations, you make the call. You have to act against the grain. At the same time you're doing that, you have to starve the distractions. Your brain is just overloaded. So for these 7 days, you commit. No mindless doom scrolling, no consuming useless content that just numbs you out, and no falling for those easy dopamine traps that are designed to keep you stuck. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to feel bored. And that is a good thing. I mean it. That boredom feels uncomfortable. But that discomfort, that's the quiet space where clarity finally has a chance to grow. It's the signal that you're finally making room for something new. Okay, so after a week of tearing things down, we shift gears. For the next 2 weeks, it's all about construction. We're going to start laying the foundation for the new you. The engine for this whole phase is the 1% rule. Look, you don't need these massive, overwhelming changes. You just need momentum. So you pick one daily habit, maybe 10 minutes of exercise, 10 pages of a book, something so small you have literally no excuse to skip it. That daily consistency is what creates unbelievable change over time. Okay, this slide right here, this is the secret sauce. This is why so many people fail. They try to power through everything using willpower, but willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired, it's totally unreliable. Your environment, though, that's a system. It's always on, and if you set it up for success, it'll pull you forward even on the days you feel like you have zero motivation. So how do you do it? It's a super simple 2-step hack. First, you make your bad habits difficult. You hide the junk food, you put your phone in another room when you need to focus. Second, you make your good habits incredibly easy. You lay out your gym clothes the night before, you put that book you want to read right on your pillow. You engineer your space for the person you're becoming. Next up, it's time to upgrade your mental software. For most of us, that inner voice is our biggest critic. The trick is to catch that negative self-talk and just reframe it. You don't replace it with a lie, you replace it with truth plus action. So, I'm lazy becomes I haven't built discipline yet. You feel that shift? It takes your identity from a fixed, permanent state to something that's a work in progress. And the last part of this building phase is absolutely crucial. You have to actively seek out resistance. You know exactly what it is for you. It's that project, that workout, that conversation you've been putting off. Real confidence isn't built by thinking positive thoughts. It's forged by doing the hard things. Face it just once, and I promise you, you will feel an immediate surge of self-belief. And now, the final week. You've destroyed the old. You started building the new. Week 4 is all about locking in these changes and becoming truly unstoppable. And here is the secret that almost nobody follows in our world of oversharing. You do this in private. You don't post about your new morning routine. You don't explain to everyone how you're changing. You don't try to prove anything to anyone. You just put your head down, do the work, and let the results become so obvious they speak for themselves. The real validation, the proof that this system has actually worked, it won't come from you telling people you've changed. It'll come from them. When people start looking at you with a little confusion and saying things like, "You seem different," or "What happened to you?" that's when you know you've made it. Finally, on day 30, it's time to make it permanent. You get out a piece of paper and you write this sentence: "I am the type of person who," and then you fill in the blank, who keeps their promises to themselves, who faces challenges head on, who finishes what they start. This becomes your new identity, your new operating principle. So there it is. That's the blueprint. We've walked through the destruction, the construction, and how to make it all stick. Now, the only thing left is a decision. Because, you see, what we just went through wasn't just some explainer. It was a mirror reflecting back the potential that has been sitting inside you, just waiting. And the truth is, the next 30 days are going to pass no matter what you do. So the only question left to ask is this: at the end of those 30 days, will you be meeting a new, unrecognizable version of yourself? Or will you be stuck shaking hands with the same old one you've grown so tired of? The choice, as always, is yours.